have a chance to win $20 in XLM simply by purchasing a DCENT wallet through Token Topics and filling out this form. This form is for those who have purchased a DCENT Biometric hardware wallet through Token Topics. 5 lucky winners will be drawn from the list at the end of February to receive an additional $20 back in XLM. To enter, all you simply do is purchase a DCENT Biometric hardware wallet from a Token Topics affiliate link, then fill out the form. Winners will be announced March 1st. Funds will be sent out by March 6th. Excellent news. Prepare for Protocol 20 upgrade. So in case you missed it, February 2nd, just the other day, testnet reset plus upgrade is done. And on February 2nd, they already completed a Core 20.2 release candidate. So what we have to look forward is February 9th, Core 20.2 stable release, and then February 20th, target Protocol 20 upgrade vote plus phase 0. As we approach the mainnet launch for Sorbonne, some exciting things are happening, such as this. Sorbonne, they tweeted out, the momentum for DeFi on Stellar continues. Excited to have Band Protocol support Sorbonne, Stellar Org's native smart contract platform as we approach mainnet launch. According to Denell Dixon, tokenization is a game changer. Now let's get some examples of Tier 1 assets and tokenization. We know that 2023 was a fantastic year showing Stellar's capabilities, and it's only going to continue to get better.
Our focus area under this building block, because we need to ensure we're fostering growth for the most used assets in the world to be represented on Stellar. In Q4, adoption of fiat-backed stablecoin EURC on Stellar continues to grow since going live on the network last quarter, with over 970,000 in circulating supply. Ricardo Bitcoin, the largest exchange in Latin America, also enabled EURC on Stellar for deposits, withdrawals, transfers, and trading. And Stasis, a trailblazer in issuing euro-backed stablecoins, brought the EURS to Stellar in Q4. It's a great example of how we're expanding access to trusted versions of the second most widely used currency in the world on Stellar. In 2023, tokenization on the network reached new heights, with Stellar gaining recognition as a leader. You don't have to take our word for it. Funds managed by institutional players, including Franklin Templeton, WisdomTree, Bitbon, ABN AMRO, which represent tokenized real-world assets like securities, fiat currencies, gold, and more, reached a total market cap of over $340 million last year. Messari stated in its latest crypto thesis that funds on Stellar have grown to be the large plurality of tokenized treasuries and the largest liquid instruments that any Wall Street firm have actually offered on-chain, including stablecoins. Stellar was designed for asset tokenization way back when, and we've seen its features make it an easy choice for issuers to build on and take their assets to market. Those features include like the clawback functionality and other compliance features that regulated entities are going to have to leverage. But I also want to highlight that further to SDF's mission, tokenization on Stellar is providing financial access to new customers in new markets in a new way. People who previously were not able to leverage these tools, they now can. This is what our work is all about. With tokenization, the Stellar network's strengths and SDF's mission have converged and taken hold in the real world. Tokenization may have now become a buzzworthy thing because institutional interest and fund sizes are growing and regulatory changes are making room for new opportunities. But once we really start to recognize who these financial tools are reaching that were previously excluded, and we're hoping that we see a lot more of that, what it will do for them and what unforeseen innovations are unlocked, more people will understand that it's a game changer. So I'll be back.
Now, the price of Stronghold is looking strong. As you can see that we are up over 10% for the month. We're up over 44% for the week. And for the day, we're up over 11%, almost 12%. So hopefully people over the past few weeks during this downward price action, hopefully they were able to add to their bags. And so things are looking pretty good. All right, I would like to go over this tweet from crypto banker SHX, and he makes a really good point. He's seeing more and more XRP heads being turned by SHX. People are starting to realize that buying SHX now is like buying XRP back in 2016, and we're nearly into 2017. These chances in a life are limited edition. Faces will be melted, not financial advice. Awesome. And he continues here. is responding, but right, and buying XRP today is like buying Google, Amazon, and Microsoft 20 years ago. He responds, true, but check this out. Look at these figures here. For XRP to 100x, you're looking at a $2.7 trillion market cap, okay? For SHX to 100x, it needs to be a $2 billion market cap. Now, that is very reasonable. For XRP to do 1,000x, you're looking at $27 trillion market cap. For SHX to 1,000x, it's a $20 billion market cap. He makes more interesting points. Check this out. Given Ripple are strategic investors in Stronghold Pay and the connections between them run deep, the XRP ledger is literally plugged into Stronghold Net, as well as US ACH system, FedNow, Stellar. SHX also does behave like XRP and XLM on big moves up. SHX is built on Stellar, who are also key strategic partners of Stronghold Pay alongside IBM. He breaks down an example. So if XRP is at $2.7 trillion market cap at $50 per XRP, then even if SHX is just 1% of XRP's market cap, that's a $27 billion market cap of SHX, $5 per SHX, and 1,350x from today's price. If XRP 1,000x to $27 trillion market cap and SHX has 1% of that market cap at $270 billion, then XRP would be at $500 a coin and SHX would be at $50.44. That's at 13,500x from today. Now, somebody said, oh, that's crazy. We've seen things like this happen in the world of crypto. This was put together by K Thingall at K Thingall on Twitter. Excellent material. You can go ahead and give him a follow. So he took his time and put this together to give us a great perspective of how big of a deal this is and the players that are involved. So as you can see, all 12 Federal Reserve banks are members with Stronghold. Then you have big-time investors. You have strategic investors like Ripple. And again, don't forget the XRP ledger is plugged directly into Stronghold Net. And you got John Goldsmith, director and investor at GLG. You got Dan Rosen, the co-founder. And check this out, more connections and just ties. Some of these people are highly decorated, have a lot of experience. You got David Sachs, former CEO of PayPal and co-founder of Kraft. You can see. Another great follow is the Phoenix Rising. He puts out great information. He is an SHX fan, and he put out this great illustration so people can get the picture. There's a lot of connections here. You got IBM, WorldWire, Hyperledger. They're using Stellar Protocol, and you got FedNow. You got ISO 20022 compliant. Not many coins or tokens can hold their head up high and say that. Stronghold Net, of course. Connection with Swift, and then I've gone over in previous videos, the Nacha ACH payments is huge, and then what we just recently discussed, Ripple connection and investing. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. If big companies are investing their time and energy into Stronghold, it's only natural. That means that Stronghold to them is valuable. And just to fill people in, there was talks about Stronghold SHX token being available on Uphold. All right, that has not happened yet, so that is still something to watch for. Hopefully, we get some good news, some development out of that. In case you missed this video from Stronghold, I'm going to end with this. They recently tweeted, December 2023 marked a significant milestone. 5 years of the SHX token and our first governance vote. Tammy Camp and Son Bennett recap on the outcome of the community-driven success.
That was our first ever governance vote. What do you think? How did it go?
It was a really, really busy time for us, but I think all in all it went really well for the first time that we've ever done this.
Yeah, I was really surprised about how many people participated from our community. Like, it felt like everyone came out. And I think we even 6x'd our audience.
Yeah, the numbers that we saw the community growing over the voting period as compared to just before it. I think it was about 6x the number of new members coming on board.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and one of the things I really liked that we got was a lot of feedback throughout the process, which we managed to incorporate some of it during the vote, and obviously it'll help us for the next one as well. So all in all, a really, really good first time.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I was really genuinely surprised about how many votes that we got in general. Like, what was the final tally of that?
I think in terms of number of SHX that ended up voting as a valid vote, it was 210 million, give or take, right?
Right. So tell me about what do you think we should do for the next one?
I think one of the big questions that I have for next time is, where is that proposal going to come from? Or going forwards, where are those proposals going to come from? You know, obviously we put the first one forward, but in future we're going to have to find a way to make even the process of coming up with the questions more inclusive to the community, right?
Yeah, that's right. How do you think other crypto projects do that? Or who does it well?
There's a lot of DeFi projects that I like. I probably won't try and pick, my favorites here, but a lot of them have forums, I've noticed, where they'll talk about things. So you'll see people talk about things on the Discord, and I have actually seen in our Discord some people coming up with some, beginnings of ideas, which is cool. But I think we need a space where people can write down, hey, this is what I think is a really good idea, and then let people actually comment on that sort of in a single thread. So I think that model might be something that we can start looking at.
Yeah. Maybe we should vote on a forum.
Oh, there we go. There's an interesting idea. Number 2, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. What surprised you the most for this voting event?
Well, coming up to the vote, I think the thing that struck me first was that there's a lot of infrastructure that was missing, right? We were building on top of the Stellar Ledger, which is fantastic for payments, but it is missing a lot of the functionality that you'd see on like an EVM chain like Ethereum. So there was a lot of work that we had to do, but we did get there, and I think it was an acceptable voting experience at the end of the day. So the results came in, and in the end, it came through as a very strong for the burn, and it's 70% as the proportion to burn. Is that surprising to you?
It was not surprising to me at all. I think over the years, a lot of people have been asking when we were going to burn some of the supply, because obviously that makes the token a little bit more unique and deflationary. And so I think that the community's been, asking that question for a long time. So I was not surprised whatsoever that I came back at that number. I was actually surprised that it was not 80%.
Well, if I could be, I hope this isn't controversial, but I wish that the burn proportion was going to come out a little lower. I was hoping for something more like 50-50. I think thinking from the business side, there is certainly a case where I think we need to keep that incentive mechanism there for the capital contributors. So I think 50 would have been a nice balance. But with the rates coming down overall, I think it will still be a really good, really good deal for our merchants.
What do you think our community can expect to see next?
I think the 2 big things that the community will see us doing: 1, implementation of this vote. I think there's still a question that we're talking about internally, is how quickly do we get this on top of Stellar? Or is that even the right thing to do? Right? Soroban's coming out. You never want to be one of the first players on something new as well. That's, not a good idea, especially when we're moving money. Never a good idea. So we'll be watching what happens with Stellar and Soroban really closely to see if that's a stable platform for us to put smart contracts in. And then you can see more of the MCA program actually moving there. Without that, it's going to be a little more difficult for us to put that on top of Stellar for now. So we're working on that, and we'll see where that ends up. The second thing that we're going to be working on is ramping up for vote number 2 and how we want to do that going forwards. We're continuing to reflect on all the learnings that we got out of this vote and trying to think about what will make it better, more inclusive in the future. But all eyes on that Soroban release. It really changes a lot for us.
Because we've been focused so much on just building the business, that means doing bank partnerships, payment network partnerships, merchants, and onboarding, all these customers, getting all these transactions on Stronghold Net. It was really nice to come back at the end of the year and then really realign ourselves back to our SHX community.
On the 5th year anniversary.
On the 5th year anniversary.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.